I have two very special guests now, Corinne Silva and Ron Margolis, who are with the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Why is it so important to be at this meeting and to be able to interact with some of the members of the Endocrine Society?
Well, each of the institutes at NIH, in particular NIDDK, has a mission, a defined mission to understand diseases and conditions relevant to our mission. And many of those intersect very nicely with the attendees and the science that's presented here at Endocrine Society. So it's very, very important for us to represent that mission to the attendees and to learn from them about what is going on and what the advances are that may help us as we begin to solve the key questions relevant to our mission.
And the attendees also find it helpful to be able to interact with us being here because we are overseeing the science that they are doing when they are funded through our institute. And, you know, we look at their progress reports, and so they like to have the chance to come up and talk to us about what they're doing and, you know, interact with us face to face. I know I have many grantees that have talked to me on the phone a number of times, but when they meet me at a meeting, they like to say, "Oh, now I have a face to put with the person that I talk to," and it's really helpful on both sides.
When you talk about your mission or your initiatives for the coming year, how are you able to take advantage of some of the advances in the field?
Well, we have to report every year back to Congress, the people who fund us, about what we've done in the year. And so it's very, very helpful for us to actually see what is being presented, talk to the investigators, and get a full understanding of where the advances are and how they may be transmitted and translated into these advances that we report back to the funders. And in that way, we're able to justify continued support for biomedical science, and in particular that related to the mission of NIDDK.
You talked a little about the collaboration with people here, and can you go into that a little further about that joining of forces with the Endocrine Society?
So I could give you an example that might represent that, and that is that both Ron and I are involved in a consortium of investigators called the Nuclear Receptor Signaling Atlas, and we actually have here today at the exhibit hall to the investigators that are involved in NERSA, we call it, and they will be interacting with attendees here, demonstrating some of the programs that they have on our webpage. They'll be asking for input from attendees here, and so many of the researchers that work on nuclear receptors and nuclear receptor signaling are here at this meeting, and so it's a great venue for us to interact with them, not only us as program directors, but also the investigators that are involved in NERSA.
Yeah, and as Corinne pointed out, what we're able to do through the research that we fund is to accrue information and resources that are relevant to the investigators here and elsewhere, and present it in a form that they can use and take back to inform their own research. And one of these is called the NIDDK Information Network, dknet.org. And this is an information warehouse that allows them to find data through simplified searches, data and resources that can be informative for their research. And so we want to demonstrate this and provide the understanding to the community that here are these resources that we have enabled, and these can be helpful to your research.
Well, we so appreciate you being here. It's so critical what you're doing. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Okay.